So I took a business trip down to the deep, dirty South earlier this week, and Tuesday I found myself at the Martin Luther King Jr. Historical Site in Atlanta, Georgia, standing on the man himself's grave, soaking a big wooden cross in lighter fluid. And before you ask, I wasn't trying to make a political statement. I just needed some light to see by, so I didn't accidentally take a big shit on somebody else's grave. So, as I squatted, I found myself a little constipated. You know, being in Atlanta and all, I'd been subsisting myself on the local delicacies of Popeye's deep-fried chicken, lime green Kool-Aid, and collard greens. When in Rome. So, after a few minutes of trying valiantly to drop a deuce on Martin Luther King's headstone, I decided that maybe a little reading material would help me move things along, so I called out to my retarded Mexican manservant, Mungalito. He didn't hear me right away because the gigantic sombrero that I make him wear as part of his uniform tends to deflect sound waves like some gaudy, beaded satellite dish, and plus, my voice was probably a little bit muffled by the white hood that I was wearing, but I eventually was able to get his attention, and he waddled over to me with a vacant look in his eyes and a back issue of Hustler and an American flag to wipe my fucking ass with after I was done expunging my bowels onto Dr. King. After a few long minutes, the dirty deed was done. I left the cross there to burn out on its own, and got Mungalito hooked back into his rickshaw harness, and using a day-old Taco Bell bean and cheese burrito tied to the end of a fishing pole, I coaxed him into a gallop and headed back to the hotel where I retired for the evening. All in all, though, a really fruitful business trip for me and a great little sightseeing diversion. You know, I'm really privileged to have seen a side of Atlanta, Georgia that few people get to see. Captain Awesome, this is Private Paulsego, over and motherfucking out.